After surviving my first night on the Alta Via 1 in a room full of snorers and a bed clearly designed for someone about 20 centimeters shorter, I woke up feeling, let's say, optimistically stiff. Today's goal reached Rifugio Fanes, but first I had to descend down what felt like a never-ending rock slide and then climb straight back up again in 30-degree heat under an unforgiving sun. Sounds fun, right? Surprisingly, it kind of was. And by the end of the day, I've earned one of the best dinners of the whole trip, and also another snorer. So, day 2 of the Alta Via 1. Another beautiful morning. And yeah, first night was quite nice. Nice food, but no dessert. So no tiramisu yet for me. And also no showers, which is also not great. So looking forward to a nice shower tonight. Start day 2. Day 2 we'll go to Rifugio Fanes. So today should be around, 14 kilometers and about 500, 600 meter elevation gain. So a bit more of a chill day today, a bit of a longer hike. But I'll stop at a Rifugio for lunch on the way. So it'll be mostly downhill for the most part of today, or flat. And the last part up to Rifugio Fanes will be uphill. Just so many people, so many people. I want to get away from them. So the mission for day 2, start at Rifugio Biella, descend brutally down to Pederü, then climb even more brutally up to Rifugio Fanes. In numbers, about 17 kilometers, 700 meters of ascent and 800 meters of descent, and a solid 5 hours of hiking. All under the Mediterranean's lesser known cousin, the Dolomites heat dome. Whew, it's like 7:45 in the morning, it's really hot. Put some sunscreen on. And then yeah, no showers last night, so I'm a bit stinky today, so not great. Backpacking for the win, right? And my hat is also doing weird things. So last night I had one of those special moments again. He's sitting outside reading a bit of book and he's surrounded by mountains. So nice to be back in nature. Surrounded by proper mountains. That's the power of mountains, right? It just inspires you. One of those moments where you just have to slow down and take it all in. It's one of the moments that you live for. Wish I could do this more often, but you know, life's life. You have to work, all these kind of things, and maybe one day I'll have a bit more time for this. But the morning started gently. The trail from Biella to Rifugio Sennes was peaceful, mostly flat with rolling views and not a single tourist in sight. Just me, the mountains, a few marmots whistling in the distance, and the growing realization that my legs would definitely not fully recover from yesterday's climb. I passed a few hikers in the distance, but for the most part it was just me and my thoughts. I reached Rifugio Sennes just as most hikers were packing up and heading out. The morning energy was mellow, coffee cups still clinking and backpacks getting strapped on. A quick note for anyone planning their own Alta Via 1 route.
If Rifugio Biella was full on day one, or if you have a little bit more fuel in the tank, you can push on to Rifugio Sennes instead. It's only about 1.5 hours further from Biella, and the trail flattens out a bit after the initial climb. Now, Sennes doesn't have the dramatic views of Biella perched on the ridge, but it does have proper toilets, hot showers, and a bit more comfortable vibe overall. So if you're the type who prefers a rinse over a ridgeline, that might be your spot.
It's a nice thing about starting early and having a bit of a rest day. You can make little detours. So I'm at it's 9 o'clock and I'm at Rifugio Sennes. So quite a nice spot as well. If you feel like the day is too short to stop at Rifugio Biella, you can walk an extra hour, about 4 kilometers. Very easy downhill. So after your legs are a bit tired on the first section uphill, and this is a nice recovery spot. So easy to reach this on day one, another extra hour. I think Rifugio Biella probably had some more amazing views. I mean, the views are still incredible. But yeah, Biella had amazing views. Benefit here, you'll probably get some hot showers. And yeah, like I said, you can get a couple extra kilometers in on the first day. So yeah, you decide.
After soaking in the views near Sennes, it was time for the fun part, the descent into Rifugio Pederü. Well, fun if you enjoy steep, rocky, never-ending downhill punishment on already tender knees. The descent drops about 500 meters over just a few kilometers, which sounds fine on paper, until you're doing it in the full sun, dodging loose gravel and negotiating your body's refusal to cooperate. I think I passed at least 3 hikers doing the backwards crab crawl descent. Respect. Eventually, after a lot of quad burning and a few muttered swear words, Pederü finally came into view. He nestled down in his wine alpine basin, and honestly it looked more like a cozy mountain motel than a refugio. And right now, that mountain motel serves cold beer and lunch. Jackpot. Another note on planning your AV1 route. If you're doing a slightly different route or you want to do a bit longer on day one, you can also end your day one at Rifugio Pederü. That's also a solid option. It's a large refugio at the bottom of a deep valley, so it's more accessible, meaning there's a bit more foot and car traffic and the occasional Dolomites shuttle bus zipping through. But it's well run, the food is great, and there is a terrace views of massive cliffs towering overhead. Just expect a busier, less remote feel, kind of a Dolomites base camp with perks. So yeah, a little route flexibility goes a long way. Just make sure wherever you end up has beer. That's the real priority.
Well, made it to the lunch stop a little bit early, just before 11. Rifugio Pederü. Very nice spot in between the mountains, beautiful views, but there's a car park here. It's not remote in the mountains, so people can get directly with car, with buses. So it's going to be quite busy. And I must say, the second part of the downhill coming down from the previous Rifugio was quite steep. So guys, if you're going the other way, it's going to be rough.
Grabbed some food, a crisp cold beer, and sat under an umbrella like I just returned from war. I knew the worst was still to come, the infamous Pederü to Fanes uphill, but for now I was happy, hydrated and mildly sunburned.
Well, a nice little stop. Beer, cappuccino, toasty. But now we are up for the climb of the day. 500 to 600 meters. About 6 kilometers, and then we are there. So, yeah, let's do this. It's going to be a bit warm.
After a glorious lunch at Rifugio Pederü, I knew I had one job left: climb. From here to Rifugio Fanes is about 4.8 kilometers with over 500 meters of elevation gain. On paper that sounds doable, but in reality it was hot, it was exposed. The trail basically looked at me and said, "Oh, you just had beer. Cute. Let's fix that." It starts with this long, relentless jeep road, gravelly, dry, zero shade, the kind of uphill that makes you question your life choices and count every corner like prisoner marking the days. I passed a few other hikers doing the classic rest and sip and pretend you're fine move. We bonded in mutual suffering, the universal language of uphill hikers. But slowly, surely the trail began to level out, and just like that, Rifugio Fanes appeared like an oasis. A proper alpine hut with cold drinks, wooden deck chairs, and spoiler, hot showers. Glory!
There we go, day 2 done. Rifugio Fanes. Would have been my stop on the first day, but yeah, glad I split it up into 2. The last climb was quite hot. It took me about an hour and a half, but yeah, it was steep and warm. Looking forward to a nice ice cold beer. Hopefully they got some nice showers as well. Let's take a look.
I arrived at Rifugio Fanes around 2:30 p.m. and let me tell you, it felt like crossing the finish line. The hut just sort of appears, nestled in the wide, open alpine bowl with a huge wooden terrace, chilled hikers and mostly important cold beverages. The first order of business, check-in. They were super friendly, spoke great English, and yes, they take card, which was a small miracle. I was assigned another bunk bed because apparently I'm doing the sleepover with strangers tour of Dolomites. Luckily the room was spacious and the vibe was much calmer than the previous night. The half-board here costs around 75 euros and is worth every cent. That includes your bed, hot shower, yes included, and dinner and breakfast. I parked myself in a chair, grabbed a book I probably won't finish, and let the afternoon melt away. I ended up chatting to a few lovely families, including some from the US. It's amazing how here conversation flows as easily as beer. No one cares where you come from, what you do, it's just trail talk, foot pain, food recommendations, and what's the Wi-Fi password. Dinner at Rifugio Fanes is served at 7 p.m. sharp, and this time it was a full 3-course meal, including dessert, thank the heavens. And honestly, it might have been one of the best meals of the entire trip. Huge portions, great flavors, and the wine wasn't half bad either. That might have been just the altitude talking. After dinner, I stepped outside to catch the golden hour. The whole mountain bowl was bathed in the soft, warm light that made everything and everyone look like it belonged in a postcard. There's something about evenings at the Rifugio, the hum of tired voices, boots off, dogs napping under benches, and it's kind of magical. Peaceful but owned. I wandered off to a little lake nearby just as the lights started to fade, thinking maybe I'd have a moment of serenity. Instead, I met an army of mosquitoes that nearly mistook me for their buffet. So that moment was brief. Then it was back inside, into my bunk bed, which once again came with the delightful bonus of a snorer. You win some, you lose some. At least I was clean, fed, and a little sunburnt, which is basically the trail version of living your best life. Day 2 of the Alta Via 1 is done. 17 kilometers, nearly 700 meters of elevation, a beer and possibly permanent mosquito trauma. But I'll do it all over again, just maybe with less cotton and more bug spray. Honestly, today was one of those days where you get a bit of everything. Solitude in the morning, a rocky descent to Pederü, and a soul-testing climb back to the sky towards Fanes. But the views worth every single step. And the fact that I ended the day clean, fed and horizontal, well, that's all I ever want from life now. If you enjoyed the series so far, give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment below with your favorite moment and subscribe if you haven't already. I've got more mountains, more mishaps and hopefully fewer snorers coming up in the next episode. Tomorrow the trail continues and so do the surprises. See you on day 3. Until next time, keep exploring.